So it did open this up itself, but it's not exactly right, so I'll close it. And then in the Revit file, I'll go to the Manage tab, and in the Select Elements tool, I'll copy the ID. Okay, here. And if I open up the type properties, you see that it doesn't have any mass here. So this one's a type 18 rebar. So as an example, I'll put it in 2.004. It's just an example and not the actual mass. So I'll assign it this material as well. And then we'll go back to the families. Here, open up the structural rebar and select the type 6 rebar and open it up. Here, I'll paste the material and then put in 0.6 for the mass per length. Alright, on to the next one, paste the material, and this time 0.68 for mass. Alright, we've already done this. So open up the type 12, paste, and then 1.35. Alright, on to the next one. And in this one, we're going to have 1.852. After that, we'll put in 2.1 for type 16. Alright, on to the next one. Here, put in 2.25. Then we have the type 20, which is going to be 2.65. So once again, the numbers that I'm putting in here are estimates and nothing exact. So 3 for type 28. Let's just go to the last one and put in 2.95 for this. And I think we're done for now. Then we go back to the SOFISTIK tab and hit update. Now I'll select the schedule tool and click OK here. So let's see if we get any errors now. Just remember that you have to solve the warnings and get rid of them. Otherwise they won't appear in the schedule and the estimates and you will have errors. So now as you can see, we don't get any errors and it opens up. And now you can see all of the data set up here perfectly. So these are our rebar types, 10, 14, 18, 20. And then we have an example for each type like this one. And if you want to, you can replace the SOFISTIK logo with your own company's logo, which is of your preference. In order to do so, I can right click on this and select change picture, and then from file, and then you can look for the file in your own system to find the logo that you want. Here I'll go to this folder and then I'll select and open up our logo, which is the Iran Beam logo. And there we go. And all the other tags and informations that you can edit as well. So this way you can access the data in a complete setup and you can refer to it anytime you want to see everything. Now I'll just close the file and I won't save it either. Then we get to the next tool which says shape image. So what does this do? Whichever of these families we select, we have an image here, and then in the type properties we have a type image in the identity data section. It's empty now, but we may want to do this in the estimates of the Revit file. So I'll go here and select the shape image option and then hit OK here. So it creates an image for each one of them and adds them to the Revit. And then later on we can use them in the estimates. So if I select this and then open up the edit types, it's still loading up the images and it may take some while. So after it's done, I'll select this and then you see we have an image in the identity data. So if I go to the Insert tab and select the Manage Images, you can see all of the images that have been loaded up in here. And now if I want to check the schedules, I can go here and then open up the structural rebars. And then in this part, I'll add the family and type and image. And then in this part, the sorting group tab, I will put this sorting by family and type. And then check the blank line box as well. There we go, and now we can add a count for each one of these as well. So I'll open up the schedule properties, then select the counts, pull it up, hit OK here. After that, we'll go back to the schedule and open up the schedule properties again. This time we'll go to the Fields tab and find the length in here. Let's see where it is. It's not this one. Then we go here and then we have the SOFISTIK ones. Here we have the layout and it's this one, the total bar length. So I'll add this and move it up as well, and then I'll sort them by total bar length as well. Click OK, and there we go. After that, I'll go to the sheet, whichever one, it doesn't matter. Now if I put this estimate inside of the sheet, it shows the images as well, just like this. And you can have these here till you get to use them later on in the Revit file. Now if I go up here and select the restore size option, all of the images revert back to their original size. I can open this up like this, and there we go from there on. So hit Ctrl Z, and now you know in which cases you can use this tool. So after that, we have another tool under the schedule tool that we'll cover. And here it is, it says export for production. Now I can select it and hit OK here, and then we'll have to wait for it to load up. So now that it has been created, we'll hit OK here, and all of these will be saved in the same path and directory that you have your Revit file inside of. So an images folder will be made like this here, and then the files will be put inside of it. And if you actually go to the settings of the SOFISTIK, you can see the option here that says report browser. I'll select it and put it under the English language and hit OK. After that, I'll go to the schedule tool and open this up and hit OK here. Now this time it doesn't actually give us a Word file. This time it will open up a browser for us like this, and then in the Revit file path, it will create an Excel and a Word file as well. And then here in the browser file, we have a complete chart and list of everything that we need, like this. And we have these ones here as well. So I can either export these or get a print of it or whatever I want. Now if I close this, a DXF file will be made in the path. Now I can open this up in the AutoCAD file, and I can see the complete and practical chart that we have of the lists here. So I'll select this to open up in the AutoCAD file. And now here you can see the bar bending schedule as clean as you'd like. Now here on top of the blocks, we have some long texts which I'll select. And then I'll go to the editorial menu of it, where I can select all of the text here and highlight it. Then hit Ctrl C to copy it, cancel on this, and then finish it up. Don't save on this. Or I could just save it on the schedule now so you can see what I exactly mean. Here I'll select this part of the text and delete it all together. Or you can do whatever you want to the name. You can put your company's name as well. After that, I'll save it, and now you'll see that the changes have been saved only to this block and none of the others. So I'll use find and paste the text that I've copied. And here, if I hit the find next, I can find all of the instances where this text is found. After that, I can go to the replace with section and type in whatever you want. For example, Iran-beam team, and then I'll open up this menu where we have the different replacing options, and then I'll hit replace all. So this says we also have some blocks here, so I'll hit replace with all and then OK here. And now all of the blocks have Iran-beam on top of them, except for this single one. And you can save this file and it will be exported as a DWG file and you can use it later on. Here you have all of the data and the dimensions to the exact figure that need to be. So this is a general review of the SOFISTIK in the shopping category, which we can make use of in our own file here.